two questions. One, does BuilderTrend have Kanban cards? And number two, is Monday going to BuilderTrend and collecting this information and
No, so
bringing it
there's a
back?
level of double entry here, is what I was basically saying,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, but it's
Okay.
minimal in the sense of like we figured out where to like enter things into Monday, and then once we create the job in BuilderTrend, really the only things we're entering back into Monday is like the contract amount and our job costs and some things that we want for data points. But really everything from there, as far as communication, daily logs, and things like that, are pretty much tracked in BuilderTrend. So I would say that Monday works
Yeah.
for sales, BuilderTrend works for operations and project management mostly.
Yeah. But operations is still in Monday, correct?
Yeah.
Like they're still getting in there, chatting, adding comments, whatever it
Nope.
is.
At that point,
Oh, okay.
the operations manager, all he is doing is moving the project card to the different steps within the process, and that's all they
So,
use that for.
so really the operations team's not doing data entry at all inside of Monday. All they're doing is dragging and updating the stages, giving a status update essentially.
Exactly.
And then all the details are inside of BuilderTrend.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, we wanted something to be able to track like lead cycle times. That's something that Builder or project cycle times, and number of warranty claims received a year and like things like that. Those are all things that BuilderTrend can't report on. Are things like that.
Yeah, it's a shame. So so we've got about 10 more minutes left, and as we wrap this up, I really want to understand like all the different things that because like we mentioned before, BuilderTrend is very complex, and there's a barrier to entry and to really using it at its fullest because it takes such a heavy lift to learn and implement. But I would say most people, when they're using BuilderTrend, they're using it to get contracts signed, to do maybe some daily logs, and maybe pay subcontractors.
Yeah.
Those are probably the biggest things at the front end. Am I missing anything that are like fairly easy that people use it for?
Likely estimating. I mean,
estimating. Yeah. Yes, correct. As a part of the collecting signatures, you send the estimate, get the signatures, right? So what outside of those things, I think most people that are in BuilderTrend are aware of what BuilderTrend is. They know those functions. What are the things that you're going above and beyond on in BuilderTrend that people maybe aren't maximizing?
Yeah. So I would say takeoffs is for sure one of those things. And we haven't gone down this rabbit hole yet, but something that takeoffs can do is you can build takeoff templates, which then feed the estimate. So as you're doing takeoffs for things like quantities of trim and drywall square foot and things like that, if you're estimating set up to use proper cost codes with a cost catalog and unit costs, you can feed those into your estimate. So it's not doing double entry or a double step in a task then.
Yeah. And that's a pretty big lift to get all that stuff inside of BuilderTrend, correct?
Yeah, it is. It definitely takes some time. You need to understand how job costing works. And that's really like the number one thing that BuilderTrend is, at least for me as a business owner, is job costing software. Yes, we run schedules out of it and we have client portals and they get to see daily logs and stuff like that. But job costing is like the number one thing it is for me, at least.
Can you walk us through, if that's the number one thing, can you walk us through what you're able to gather from BuilderTrend for the job costing aspect?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say the number one thing is like real-time data. I can look at any given project that I want, no matter where it's at within the stage of the process, and see, are we over budget in any categories, under budget? And same thing for my project manager, who is luckily for me, like very cost focused on projects. Like he's using the budget tab and the purchase order system, daily, making sure that things are entered. But the reality is that job costing is only as good as like your estimating process. And so it kind of starts there within BuilderTrend, where I have an extra step of complications because we have W-2 staff who are, physically working on projects as well as subcontractors. And so I had to build a system that I could estimate and predict unit costs for physical work that's being done on site by humans who, naturally have bad days and mess things up and things like that. And then I needed to create a system that I could time track against those things and understand, are we spending too much time, or, are we underestimating this category, or is it good? And then from there, you need to be able to read that data. So job costing, time clock, and the budget tab and purchase orders kind of like all work hand in hand.